Hi Libra, and welcome to your past life and soul contracts reading. We're going to start your reading off by pulling some dice to look at your soul contracts, your karma contracts, give us a little information before we get into the reading. So let's see what we have here. All right. For your karmic debts that you must pay and balance this lifetime, you have 3. So this will play out either situational or this could come through different relationships like friends, family, romance. But there are 3 strong karmic influences, karmic contracts, karmic debts that you must satisfy and settle this life journey. Now, this doesn't mean this is the only karmic energy you have. This is just the strongest. Okay, there's 3, and now we have your soulmates, and this right here is a 5. So there are 5 very strong soulmates that are coming into this life journey with you, and you know, these are people that you're going to connect with much deeper than the average person. And a soulmate can come through a friend, a family member, a romantic partner. And also with soulmates, it's not always, you know, peaches and cream all the way through. There's definitely life and soul lessons entailed within soulmate contracts and relationships. But with soulmates, these relationships tend to always weather the storm and stick with you throughout life. And there could be moments where you guys don't speak to each other, but you'll always work it out. Okay. And now for your heart chakra, we have only 1 coming through. And what this means, Libra, is there is 1 person that you are going to absolutely fall in love with beyond all. Your heart will only ever truly belong to 1 other soul this life journey. That doesn't mean you won't be in other romantic partnerships and feel different variations of love, but at the end of the day, there's only 1 person that you are going to love with all your heart and soul. They will just be above and beyond and stand out every other connection and relationship you've ever had. So definitely like twin flame energy right there, and the strongest out of all the readings I've done so far. Okay, and lastly, we have the crown chakra, and as you could see there, this is a 6. So this life journey, there are 6 predominant soul lessons that you are working on. So you're doing a lot of soul evolution this journey. So let's pull a card here and get the main energy of who you were in your last life, the life that's coming into this particular reading. Okay, I want you to just kind of take a look at that image right there and see if it, you know, invokes anything, sparks any memory, any sort of activation, because this is talking about you and the primary energy of your past life. And you know, this has connection to the Middle East, and this is a life where you very much followed the line. It was a strong, disciplined path that you followed, and this is the Islamic crescent star. So maybe some of you are very drawn into Islam this life journey, but Middle East connection as well as connection to Islam. And last lifetime, you really walked the line. You were very disciplined, especially in regards to your religious beliefs. And you know, that's interesting because with these 3 karmic debts, it could have a lot to do with your religious beliefs and different sorts of rebellion that may have taken place at different points along your journey, just considering on how restricted or oppressed that you felt. But you were very religious. You believed in the doctrine and you followed suit. Okay, you walked the line. This was not a life of luxury and pleasure and abundance and you know, but just like watching TV and having a 9-to-5 job. No, this was very religious as well as very rigid, a strict path that you followed. And look at this, you have 6 soul lessons you're working on this lifetime, which has a lot to do with that right there. So let's pull some more cards and dig in a bit deeper. So we have the trader. So you were, you know, like a salesperson, or you traded goods. You may have had a market, been part of a family business. And now we have health, and this coming out lets me know that throughout this life journey, you did experience many setbacks with your health. You could have been battling like a lifelong disease, or you could have like developed a disease at some point in the journey, and it just really like was long and drawn out. So you did suffer with health issues in this last life journey. And now we have Egypt coming through. Okay, so we have potentially 2 lifetimes that want to come through, or if this isn't, because you know this could kind of fall into the Middle East, right? Egypt, it's in Morocco, or I was about to say it's in Morocco. It's near to Morocco. Oh my gosh, I'm crazy. It's like on the other side, right? Up there at the top. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways, you know, perhaps you were in Egypt and you followed the religion of Islam, or at some point in your journey you moved to Egypt, but there's this Egypt connection coming through along with the religion of Islam, and then being in the Middle East. So there's the energy for that. Again, you were, I feel more part of a family business, not like you were an entrepreneur or a manager or in control, more of like you were a part of a family business and trade. I do feel a lot of family connection around you. And again, you did suffer a lot of health issues and conditions in this last lifetime. And you may have some awareness of this. Like everything that I say in this reading, if it sparks something in you, or you're like, yeah, I've always kind of been drawn into XYZ. Well, here's why. It's a part of your Akashic. It's still very strong, and it's meant to come forth in this life journey for some purpose. Okay, so let's pull some more cards. Maybe my slip about Morocco, maybe some of you guys were from Morocco. I'm thinking of Morocco again. Okay, under the trader, we have angels. So you have connection to the angelic realm, and I'm telling you that's because of the very strict and disciplined path that you followed this last life journey. You were very, very religious, and you followed it to a T, but I do feel there were moments of rebellion. All right, so you have a connection to the angels, and this isn't just about last lifetime, this is this lifetime. So if you've been really drawn into like angel imagery or the archangels, it's because you have a special connection to that. And now we have some Celtic energy coming through. And with this particular card, I don't feel like this is like locational. It feels more about symbolism to me, and it goes back to the religious belief that you followed. And so there's a lot of symbolism in this life journey that will activate you and help you remember some of these energies. And lastly, we have food and hunger. All right, so even though I see this family business happening, I don't feel that you guys were a very strong, wealthy, and predominant type of family with food and hunger coming out, and that could have a lot to do with what your failing health or ailing health, bad health was about in this life journey. Is you just didn't have a proper nutrition throughout most of the journey here, and so it really affected your health. However, again, you were incredibly religious and you followed your beliefs all the way through, despite the lack and oppression that you may have experienced at different points along the journey. And I'm like, what are these karmic debts that are due? Like, I'm just not seeing it in your cards here. You feel like your energy, it doesn't, it's almost hard to tap into, because it was such a straight line, and you followed what you were supposed to do. So this life journey, you might find yourself very rebellious, bucking the system. You might be interested in, Islam, like the belief and practice of it, but you may not follow any sort of religion. It's because, you really sacrificed your whole life to your religious belief, and everything you did and said was in suit with that. Like, you would have been a perfect example of anybody of that religion of how you should follow through and properly practice it. And you definitely earned a place with the angels. For me, I view religion in a few different lights. I do feel that it's definitely a path forward to the divine. You know, the divine can speak to us through any outlet, through any source, and your interpretation of a sacred text is maybe different than mine, and that's okay, but it's leading you to the higher power. It's leading you to your maker, and that's all that matters. And I feel, you know, there at certain points in history, religion has been hijacked and used as a form of control, you know, and trying to shield those from finding the light. But it's all about the intention of the heart and soul of the seeker. And so any religion is truly an avenue to the divine. And so you may feel very much in that concept, this life journey, but you really connected to the divine through your religious beliefs. You have special connection with the angelic realm, you know, even in this lifetime because of that. And symbolism is very triggering and activating for you. All right, let's pull some tarot. And you know, with the karmic energies, I was just kind of feeling this as I was shuffling. It could be that you caused some oppression and restriction for others due to how strong your faith was. Like maybe your romantic partner in this life, or if you had children, you may have caused a lot of oppression and restriction upon them because of your religious belief and preference. And that could be what these karmic debts are, where you've got to balance that energy of restriction that you caused another. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups and the Devil coming out right here with this angel. And that tells me that you walked the path. You were the light in the darkness, okay? You did things from the goodness of your heart, and you really, you believed 100%, like you were so devoted. Oh my goodness. And you would not interact with or deal with anybody who was outside of that religion and belief system, because you didn't want to be corrupted. You were on, like, it was just in your soul to be on this mission to walk this path in the light, you know, with the maker. And here you are doing that. And that's how you're connected to the angels. And under the symbolism here, we have the Emperor. Oops. And we have the King of Wands. And what this tells me is you could have been a masculine in this last life journey, okay? Or you were very oppressed by some masculines in this life journey, because with the Emperor, this is somebody who is controlling, who is directing, who is in a position of leadership. And I don't really get that about you from your cards. Like, you are following your religion, like that's the main focus of this life journey. And there's somebody that I feel really directed the course of your life. And for much of your life you followed suit, but there definitely did come a point where you began to rebel a little bit and seek bigger guidance, greater understanding, wanting answers to questions that, you know, you're not allowed to ask. And it really started stirring you and bothering you. So and because this is showing as the King, I feel by the time, you know, near the time you were transitioning, you had begun to start to question your beliefs and the life that you have lived. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's because you had done so much work and received so much soul evolution. It's time to expand beyond. And you've got 6 soul lessons this lifetime. So you are expanding beyond the restrictions and being confined into one way of thinking, doing, and being. And there's multiple flavors that you're going to taste this life journey. And now under food and hunger, we have the Hermit and we have a Strength. So you have a lot of major arcanas: the Devil, the Emperor, the Hermit, and Strength coming through as clarifiers. So this life is very significant. It might not seem so like, oh, okay, I was religious, I worked for my family business, I had bad health, I had connection to the angels. You know, there's this Middle Eastern location of area. I was hungry. You know, okay, what Well, through all of that, you know, I'm telling you, you've done a lot of soul evolution, which has constructed and created the abundance and the comfort and the luxury that you have this life journey, as well as your connection to the angelic realms. Many of you are probably quite sensitive, could even be empaths, may be spiritually gifted, and it may be that you had some gifts this lifetime, but you oppressed them because you were too afraid. Oh, that's negative, that's the darkness, I must turn away, I must turn away. And by the end of your life, you were really questioning those beliefs that you had walked in, you know, through all of your days. And here, Food and Hungry with the Hermit and the Strength card, I feel like at times you were intentionally starved by whoever this masculine energy is. And this would have been, if you were a masculine, this would have been like the head of the household over you. Because again, I feel like a lot of family connection around you. This person had absolute control and influence over your life. Or if you were a feminine, there it is. This masculine had influence and control over your life. And at times I feel like you were starved or told to fast, but it was truly like starvation. It was to excess. And through all of this, it feels like such an oppressed, restrictive life. And what's beautiful about it, and look at what would even be next, is the High Priestess. What's beautiful about this life is look at all of this soul growth that you've gained, and it made you such a strong individual, and all that wisdom and experience and that strength resides in your soul, in your Akashic record, and that's a part of who you are in this life journey. You've earned your stripes, so to speak. You really gave yourself in sacrifice towards the higher power, the religion that you believed in, and you followed those steps, that journey all the way to the end, even when you really started questioning it. All right, and so through this life, you achieved a great deal of soul evolution, and many people this lifetime tell you that you are an old soul, or that you're very intuitive, you're quite insightful, very astute, have a very strong attention to detail. You can predict things, you notice patterns and cycles. You may have this special connection with numbers, okay? That you earned all of that in this past lifetime, and it set you up for this lifetime to have much more flexibility, fluidity, abundance, and happiness. And so, you know, when you've suffered a lot of starvation and hunger in previous lifetimes, it could spill over into this lifetime where you deny yourself food, or you may excessively overeat. So if you have suffered with that, this is a big indication as to why, and you can work energetically to balance this energy out, to release the restriction of the lackful energy around food and nourishment, because it did really impact your health in a negative way, and you might need to do a little bit of energy work this lifetime to just balance that out and dissipate it if you have issues with food. All right, so just know that. Now, we're going to get into the dice and what the dice represent, and, you know, this karmic energy that must be, oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping way ahead. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, Libra. But Spirit's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you're right, I'm jumping ahead. All right, so let's pull some cards to look at the spiritual energy. I mean, it's all over the place in here, but deep healing from the angels. The angels are always with you. You call upon them. Like, if you think about, you know, somebody's phone list, your phone number in their phone list is set to favorites, okay? You have direct access to them. Now we have consciousness, and here it is. Right here where you started questioning things, and it's because you achieved so much soul evolution. It's a major consciousness shift that plays out this life journey, and you're free. And dream messages, here it is. Some of you being very intuitive, empathic, wise old soul. Your dreams could be prophetic, where, you know, you dream of certain events, certain conversations, and they come to pass. But also in your dream time, I feel you commune with the angels and the higher realms. and you probably don't remember upon waking, but you do have that access because we have the Hermit and the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is flipped in the position where you have the rites of passage to the sacred knowledge, the mysteries, to go beyond the constructs and path of any religious belief, okay? You have the rites of passage for that this lifetime because of what you achieved in this lifetime that's come through. And you're meant to have a consciousness shift. And any of these residual energies, the angels will provide a deep healing, as well as consider getting some Reiki. All right, so let's pull some more cards. Right, look at that. Transformation, metamorphosis, synchronicity, the unexpected. You did so much work last lifetime. I know you only have reference to this lifetime and you've been through challenges and struggles and you're like, I'm blessed, and what? You are. Trust me, compared to the journey you walked last lifetime, you have so much freedom. Yeah, and you're free to believe and think and feel and be who you want to be. Yeah, yes, because look at solar portal, being centered, balanced, power, manipulation. You cannot be manipulated. Your thoughts cannot be manipulated. That's another reason why you incarnated under the Libran energy as your main energy for growth this life journey. Is for you to be very logical, have a lot of forethought, and to have a strong mind that nobody can corrupt or try to control and tell you who you've got to be and what you've got to believe and what you've got to do. You're very rebellious this life, any sort of restriction trying to be placed upon you, and it's because of this journey. And you are meant to be free, and you are meant to have your voice. You are meant to be strong and empowered and have abundance and have healing. And again, you are one of the favorites of the angelic realm. They talk to you through your dreams. Your dreams also very special and significant. With the solar portal, with the Reiki, try doing some meditation around strengthening your solar plexus. And it sounds like somebody outside just started mowing, so if you hear that, I am so sorry. Next is wisdom, and it says psychic, intuition, truth. Yeah, see, there you go. You are spiritually gifted. You get things through your dreams. You guys get feelings. You get insights. You channel messages. Some of you are mediums, and if you're like, yeah, I'm kind of gifted, really dive into that, explore that, activate your Akashic to these gifts, because this life is yours. Oh, Libra, this life is yours to do and be, because this was a life of sacrifice that felt like it was lived for somebody else, and you did it so beautifully. You followed the path, and it gave you special access to the angelic realm. All right, now let's look at these karmic debts, because I'm very confused by them. I really don't see what you did, other than potentially you oppressed or restricted somebody else because of your belief, and that may have caused them some pain in this lifetime. So let's see what these karmic debts are. Okay, so we have twin flame journey coming through. So definitely some karma to balance with twin flame because of what happened in this last life journey. Now we have the healer, and quantum physics and the Mandela effect. Okay, so, with the twin flame, if you were the male energy in this journey, I feel you were very oppressive and restrictive to your feminine, and it has a lot to do with what you believed, and you were following your culture and the way that you were raised. So some of you who were masculines, you very much oppressed the feminine in your life, and that's what some of this karmic debt is about. And then here with the healer, this goes back to that oppressive energy. This could be around kids or other people in the family, where again, it's like, we do it this way, and if this doesn't work, then that's what's meant to be, and you shall suffer or you die. It's just, there's beliefs around things, and so I think you really followed that to a T, whether you were a masculine or a feminine, and that may have caused some hard life circumstances for others around you. There's no ill intention behind it. It's just an effect of you know, the energy that you were working with. And here with quantum physics and the Mandela effect, this is talking about trying to control. So these karmic debts, there are 3 people in your past life, and so I do feel these are all connected to people that there was a sense of oppression and restriction which may have been to their detriment, and it has to do with what you believed. And again, there's no ill intention behind what you did. It's just it had some negative effects on others, and you have to balance those energies this lifetime. So let's pull some more cards. All right, so here we have the feminine flame, awakened, elevated yin. And this is your twin flame coming out on the twin flame card. And I said if you were a masculine, you really oppressed your feminine. If you were a feminine energy, you may have grown tired of being controlled and dominated by your masculine, and you may have taken matters into your own hands in certain different ways, okay? Or you may have said or done things to create sabotage for your partner because you no longer wanted to be oppressed. But you were definitely a part of a twin flame journey this lifetime, and that's part of the karmic balance that needs to be handled this life journey. So you guys are, and you know, we did see the one right there, the one true love of your life, and I felt, you know, twin flame, and there you go. All right, under this healer, we have journey's end, acceptance, breakup, transformation. And what I feel about this is you may have shunned or disowned somebody within the family unit because they didn't want to follow the path that you followed, that everybody in the family followed. And so you cut them off and cut them out, which was put them in a very hard place. You completely disowned them. And this could even have been like one of your children. But again, this is because you had this belief system. So there's somebody that you impacted in a very negative way by cutting them off, cutting them out, disowning them. And lastly, with the quantum physics, Mandela effect, illumination, revelations, visions, again, this is trying to be in control and control somebody's mind and tell them what they should think and what they should believe. And this is the only way to be, and you be damned otherwise, okay? So really a strong control of the mental body over another person. And again, I really want to iterate, I don't feel like any of this was ill-intended. It was following your heart, following your beliefs that were all that you knew. Okay, so let's pull a couple more cards to look at these karmic debts. Okay, so we have the Creator, which is card number 3. So in this deck, it's called the Creator. In this deck, it's called the Feminine of Flames. And in a standard tarot, this would be the Empress. I am telling you, the feminine in this soul, in this twin flame relationship last life was so oppressed. Oh my gosh. Now we have the Lessons Totem right here. And you just see the imagery that's depicted. It's that energy of, like, you know, cutting off, cutting out, disowning, which really puts somebody in a tough spot. And lastly, we have the Ace of Activations. You did prevent somebody from really expanding their consciousness. It doesn't have to be like for the entirety of their life, but you did prevent some activation within another. Again, you were just following what you believed was right. And so that's what these karmic debts are for. And you're going to experience these relationships this life journey, obviously with your twin flame. And we'll pull more cards on that one specifically. But, you know, this person here and this person here, they very well could be some of these soulmates that are showing up, all right? And you're going to experience relationship with them this life journey to balance that energy. And so in this life journey right here, this may be where this person cuts you off and cuts you out because of what you think and believe and feel. And if you've experienced that, just know it's a balancing of karma, and you don't need to feel bad or think you need to change or try to accommodate or appease other people's opinions of you. It's just the way this person cut you off. It's very hurtful because you don't understand. You're like, really? it really, that's just how I feel with this. So that's like how that plays out. And then over here, this person is gonna be kind of the same energy, where they are making you feel bad for who you are, what you believe, trying to make you feel dirty or unpure because you don't follow their same path. Okay, and again, this is going to be somebody who's more significant to you, and they're very dominating, very controlling. This could actually come through as like a parental figure in your life. So those are the karmic energies, the debts that you owe that must be paid this life journey, and just an idea of how they will play out. And now let's look at your soulmates, and we're going to save the heart one for last, because oh wait, what am I doing? Okay, I just needed these three. So let's look at the soulmates in your life and how those are playing out. And soulmates could be friends, family member, romance, but there's 5 that are very strong for this life journey. You have more than that, obviously, but these 5 are the most significant. So we have the 9 of Flames, perseverance, stamina tested. This is a soulmate that is going to teach you a lot of life lessons, and probably has a bit to do with these soul lessons that you're here for. 7 of Thoughts, gaslighting, ghosting, ulterior motives. This feels like that karmic debt for that person that I feel kind of cuts you off and walks away. Eventually, though, I do feel you guys heal and move beyond that energy. Next is the Messenger of Emotions, messages from the heart. So this is a beautiful soulmate. This could be like a child, like your child, or a child within the family. Feels more like a family member and a younger energy, like you're incarnated before they are, this life journey. Now we have the 2 of Roses, distorted energy, pressure, scarcity, and this goes back to that 3rd karmic debt that we saw, where somebody could be really trying to control you and mold you and have you walk their path. And lastly, we have the Ace of Roses, gift, opportunity, pleasant surprise. So this feels more of like a friend, and a friend that like has status in this world, or has like a lot of abundance and luxury, and there's always something wonderful that happens with this person. Like you get perks from them, like game tickets, concert tickets, or just a bunch of swag. They have access to something, and you get a lot of freebies from that. But this also is a very fun person, a very giving person. It could be it feels really strong as friend, could be family, but this, yeah, feels very strong as friend. Okay, we'll see if if twin flame shows up in any of these, and might just, be saved for this reading that we do here when we look at the heart chakra specifically. But as your soulmates, 3 out of the 5, there's definitely challenges that come through, which isn't that interesting when you have 3 karmic debts to pay. So perhaps if for twin flame, I would feel this is probably the strongest, just because it's the 9 of Flames, and it's perseverance, stamina, and tested. So a lot of different things playing out this life journey. And here, again, I feel as somebody who kind of cuts you off, cuts you out foolishly because of differing in belief or ways of life. But I do feel that you guys move beyond this once they have a bit of a consciousness shift. And this is very loving. It feels like a child, honestly. This just feels so loving and sweet and pure. Like there's no harm here. And then the person trying to control you right there. And why was I going there? Because we're just talking about the 3. Yeah, and then here it is, that 3rd energy of somebody really trying to control you. So let's pull some more cards. Intuition totem. Okay, this is definitely the twin flame, I say, with this coming out. So there's a lot of symbolism, signs, and synchronicity that nature brings forth to bring you answers, to bring you clarity, to bring you understanding, but also talking about a very long life journey with this person here. Under the Seven of Thoughts, we have mastery. So yeah, once this person has a bit of a shift in their consciousness, you guys are gonna work things out and probably be back in each other's lives. Again, a friend or family member with that. And with mastery, the karma is completely resolved between the two of you, this life journey, and maybe at the point of the time you're watching this reading. Now we have the light worker coming out under the messenger of emotions. So there's that beautiful pure light, the innocence, the inner child. So I do feel strongly as child, but just because the light worker has come out here, Libra, this could be somebody who is just very has very clean karma, walks the line, is believes in the good, believes do unto others as you would have them do unto you, doesn't gossip, doesn't hate on people, always wants to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. This energy is just beautiful, and I'm drawn into the child because that's how pure it is. But this person, I don't feel this is somebody who hurt you or you have any sort of trouble with. This soulmate is somebody who is meant to love you and support you and inspire you and always offer you the best advice that you need. And Two of Roses, now we have the activations mentor. So this one, we do know this is a connection with the soulmate of the karmic debt that must have to be paid. And here, the activations mentor, this is where this person burns you, but you learn a great deal of lessons through this, and the energy and the karma is balanced. This could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Coming through. The light worker right here, this could be a Leo, and there's no other energies for signs that have come out. But this right here is a soulmate where, again, very controlling, restrictive, will burn you, but you learn a lot and you're activated quite a bit through this connection. And I do feel this is more of like somebody that has power over you, like a parent, a guardian, maybe a boss, somebody that's just in control of some aspect of your life. And they're very domineering, and you do get burned with this activations mentor, but you grow and expand and immensely from the experience and the relationship. This particular one, maybe like this person doesn't fully leave your life, but it may be kind of a strained relationship. And just remember, there's a karma balancing taking place, and in that perspective you may be able to see what's transpired in a different light. And once you have a different perspective, the energy around this connection really shifts. Okay, and now we have 7 of activations coming through with this Ace of Roses. And I'm telling you, for some Libras, this is like a person who is like famous or very popular on social media, very well known by a lot of different people. I feel a lot of energy around this, a lot of people interested, looking in on this individual, curious about them, but they're very loving to you, they're supportive to you, and I think, again, because of your connection to them and all the perks that come with them, you kind of feel like you're something special too, which you are, Libra. But this person definitely has connections and access and shares it with you and opens things up, and you can experience different aspects and elements of life that you wouldn't otherwise be able to without this connection with this person. And remember, this is a soulmate right there. So those are the energies specifically around your soulmates. Let's look at this heart energy, the one person that you will love above and beyond all the others. Doesn't mean you won't have love for others in your heart, but you have a twin flame, and that is your one and only. We see it right there, only one on the heart chakra. So let me really shuffle these cards since we've been using them, get them nice and mixed up, and look at your heart chakra now and this connection coming through. This is literally what I do when I shut the camera off with every deck, is I shuffle it and cleanse it like this. So since there's no break between, you know, questions, I really just want to make sure that it's good and free of the other energies. So the journey, oh yes, you are definitely on a twin flame journey this lifetime, Libra, and some of you, this could be a Cancer as twin flame. 10 of emotions, happiness, togetherness, tribe. Oh, there is nobody above this twin flame of yours. Nope, you love them unconditionally, every part of them. 6 of flames, admired, noticed, spotlight. Yeah, you just absolutely adore them. 8 of emotions, outgrown, unfulfilled, walking away. Okay, so this journey, this life, there is a separation between you and twin flame at some point. So you meet, come together, have a romance, and then we go our separate ways for whatever reason. And 7 of flames, competition, jealousy, old flames. So there could be some insecurity, some jealousy, maybe some third party karmics that kind of show up. And now we have a spirit guide, guidance, overseer, the unknowable. And this tells me this twin flame journey has a spirit guide specifically assigned and attached to it, and everything that is meant to happen and play out, all that you're meant to evolve and grow into, as well as your twin flame, this spirit guide is going to ensure that that happens all the way through. Okay. So this, you know, walking away, separation, I do feel that you guys come back together. Again, there is a spirit guide that foresees that, because the connection you share, the way that you adore each other, the way that you feel each other, the way that you get each other, it's unmatchable. So let's shuffle and pull some clarifiers. Five of Roses, emptiness, guilt, insecurity. What this tells me is, even though I know you're going to have other romantic partnerships, it's just like they always kind of feel like they're missing something until you meet this person. And then when you separate and you try to date other people, it's just like you're thinking to yourself, what's the point? Like, there's no other person for me in this world but my twin flame. Yeah, look at this, the light, awakened soul contracts and experiences. You guys will get it right. You absolutely will. This could indicate a Taurus. Now we have the moon, intuition, dreams, insight, signs. You guys dream of each other. When in separation, you feel their thoughts, you feel their thoughts. And, you know, on the astral plane, in dream time, you guys meet to try to communicate and work things out, because you're having that inability in waking life, being able to properly communicate. And this is through separation. All right. When you guys get past that point in your journey, you guys come back together as an awakened soul union, where those lower vibrational energies and experiences are no longer relevant. All the karma has been balanced, and now it's a focus on, you know, soul to soul and soul evolution within your connection. Under this 8 of emotions, we have completion, elevation, evolution, manifestation. So there comes a point in this journey, this lifetime together, when you guys are in union, that you really feel that you've outgrown each other, and you haven't. You've just outgrown this particular cycle of your connection, and it's time to go your separate ways to do some, you know, soul growth individually. 9 of emotions, blessing, magic, synchronicity, they are your only wish. And lastly, 7 of thoughts, gaslighting, ghosting, ulterior motives. All right. So the energies that I see playing out across this entire journey with your twin flame entails a lot of ups and downs. And remember, there is some karma to be balanced in this connection. However, you have a spirit guide that's going to ensure everything that is meant to happen between the two of you, this journey, is going to happen, is going to play out. And when you come back into union, it's a whole different ball game. It's not pettiness, it's not arguments, it's not disputes. It's respect, honor and trust, which are very different energies. All right, so the twin flame journey looks like it will be up and down, and there is definitely a separation, and you're gonna, you know, and it's not easy. You're gonna definitely go through some periods where you're very confused, you don't understand, but ultimately I feel you guys evolve beyond all the lower vibrational energies, the karmic balance that must take place. And you know, you having this karmic debt with this twin flame, I feel like it goes both ways. Like they owe you, you owe them, just because of some different energies. And so that's part of this up and down through this life journey. But you guys do come to the point where you get it right and you figure it out and you overcome. Like, look at how perfect that is. You overcome the karmic energies, the dark energies, and you guys rise into the divine feminine and the divine masculine, because the sacral chakra is orange and the solar plexus chakra is yellow. Divine feminine, divine masculine, the sun is rising, and it's a soul bond. It's a connection made in the light, no longer in the darkness. Okay, so last life journey with twin flame, it was very oppressive and restrictive, more of a journey in the darkness. Right now, this life journey, after we overcome those residual energies, it's meant to have a journey in the light where the divine feminine and divine masculine are in perfect balance, and it's soul to soul. All right, so that is your twin flame, and the only person that you're truly, truly going to love, you will have love in your heart, but to say, I'm in love, I am in love, I am twisted up, I am sprung, this person has a lot of control and power and sway. It's just, it's them, it's your twin flame. No other is going to have that type of magnetism with you and be able to just affect you so deeply as the twin flame does. Okay, so lastly, we are going to look at these 6 soul lessons that you are meant to acquire and come into this lifetime. And a lot of it does have to do with your twin flame journey, because we saw the soul connection, you know, soul contracts in the light. So let's take a look at these soul lessons that you are coming into this life journey. Dark Night of the Soul, 9 of Lessons, Activations Healer, 4 of Lessons, 2 of Lessons. Wow, look at all those lessons. And lastly, Activations Totem. Okay, Libra, what this means for your soul lessons. And I'm not surprised to see this, just because I saw, you know, the awakened soul contract with your twin flame. One of your soul lessons is this dark night of the soul process. And this is where, you know, everything about you, it slowly starts to peel, crumble, fade away. And that's for you to have a major awakening and transform into a whole entire different version of yourself. And to me, this is like after the karmic debts have been settled, you go through this dark night of the soul process to really purge all of those shadow energies. You transform into an entirely different being. And that's where you now have the soul contract in the light with your twin flame. So we've got dark night of the soul. And then here is 9 lessons, and this is like attached to one of your spiritual lessons. So for me, this is talking about a lot of different life lessons that are going to play out, and it's to push you out of a place of fear. You may deal with a lot of fear-based energy, and you overthink things, which prevents you from, you know, making a choice or making a move. So you're going to have a lot of different life lessons that try to push you out of that energy and make you much more decisive quickly and very confident in your decision making. Remember, you have connection to the angelic realm. You need guidance, you need insight. They're just a prayer away. And right here we have the activations healer. One of your soul lessons is, after you go through all of this, you are just awakened and you're activated, and your words, your experience, all that you've gained and understand, you are a very healing person moving forward. You could have been prior to this process, but after that dark night of the soul, this just feels more predominant in your life, where you might actually start doing like Reiki healing on the side or full time. And there's so many different other ways to help heal people, right? But this is what you evolve into right there. Now we have the Four of Lessons coming through as one of your spiritual lessons, and this goes into your dream time. And so you've got dream messages and then the Four of Lessons here. So a lot of clarity will come to you in dream time, but one of your soul lessons this lifetime is really to activate and connect into your intuition. And it comes forth, you know, as you just naturally channel messages in your waking, but also in your sleep time, Libra, you receive so much information. So really open up more to that and ask Spirit, what does this mean? You know, how is this one of my spiritual lessons, my dreams, my dream time? It's like what comes through your dreams, you're meant to manifest into this physical plane, into reality. And now here we have Two of Lessons. And this spiritual lesson is something you've been working on for several lifetimes, and it's like you just can't quite grasp it, or you don't fully complete it. And so this lifetime, it's going to come in big and strong, and it's probably going to, you know, bring you some heartache and some pain. But you're meant to finally like break through. You see the light up there? You're meant to break through. And that's one of the spiritual lessons, is this life lesson that you've been trying to play out. And it could have a lot to do with romantic connections, just that being the card it is. And lastly, we have the activations totem. So you have a spirit animal that guides you this life journey. And one of your lessons is really tapping into that energy, understanding it. And some of you could be teaching about the animal totems. You have a special connection to the angelic realm as well as the nature kingdom, and the animals will bring you signs and synchronicities and always point you in the direction that you need to go. So one of your soul lessons this lifetime is really tapping into the energy of like nature, of Mother Earth Gaia, of the animals and the insects, and also discovering who your animal totem is and creating a much stronger relationship with that energy this lifetime. So those are your soul lessons. The biggest thing that I see here is this dark night of the soul stuff. But this comes after you have cleared your karmic debts, and it propels you into the light, into a much better space mentally, emotionally, physically, because you are becoming a healer. You are absolutely spiritually gifted. We've seen that through the reading. You have connection to the angelic realm. You have a special connection to the nature realm. And this all comes about the path that you walked your last life journey, following it to a T, okay? And you believed 1,000% every step of the way that you were doing the right thing, until you get towards the end of your life, and then you really started questioning everything. You followed suit as you always had, but you started questioning. And now this life journey, you experience the consciousness shift that you were trying to achieve last lifetime, and it just awakens you, and you go to a different dimension. You have those awakened soul contract experiences that you and your twin flame are meant to have this life journey. Last lifetime, you did not have an awakened soul contract experience, okay? But this life journey, that's what it's about. That's what's meant to happen for you. And your dreams, really pay attention. Keep a dream journal. Let me pull just a couple of cards to see what this lesson is that just keeps playing out lifetime after lifetime. Right, so we have the Three of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Lovers. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. This could have a lot to do, well, actually, I guess it's not as straightforward. There's a few things I've got to say with this. First one, when it comes to romance, there could be some cheating going on, because we have the Three of Cups, the Lovers, and the Hierophant that sits in the middle. And this could be maybe you're prone to straying, or the different relationships you connect to early in life are prone to straying on you. All right. And you have the Hierophant sitting here. This is a spiritual lesson. How you handle that, if you are the one cheated on, how you handle that is this lesson that you need to learn. And it's like, it's time to make a different decision. Maybe you retaliate, you react really badly, or it really depresses you or sets you back in your soul evolution. It's different for all of you. Ask the angels to help you understand what you should do differently this life journey to overcome this energy when it comes to like these third party situations. And now the next message that's coming through with this is, I do feel many of you are going to be torn this life. because you have the Hierophant here. So you have these belief systems, this, things that you feel that you need to follow, but it's far too restrictive from what you want to do. So like sex outside of marriage, drinking, partying, enjoying yourself, being silly, being young, all right? Those things go beyond like some sort of religious belief or the way you were brought up. And so it's like a bit of rebellion, like you handle it more in a rebellion sense, opposed to allowing yourself to just be and give yourself permission to experience life. And as long as you are not harming others or yourself, go with the flow, go with the journey. You were so restricted your last life. I could see that you might still be hung up on that, indulging, doing what you like, following a different belief than what you were brought up in. But that's part of this soul lesson, is to have that major breakthrough and you accept who you are, what you are, as you are, and say that is good enough. I don't care what any of you have to say. This is really owning yourself, this life lesson. All right. So those are your messages, Libra. I am sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.